Poetry, passion, and prison. Adelaide Bartlett was boyishly attractive, with bobbed hair, full lips, and flashing eyes. She had few friends outside her husband's immediate family, and even they were often at loggerheads with the willful young foreigners who had come into their midst. Adelaide was born in Orleans, France, in 1856 to an English father and a wealthy but unmarried French mother. At the age of 17, she came to England to complete her education, staying in London at the home of her guardian. A regular visitor to the house was her guardian's brother, Edwin Bartlett, who speedily would won and wed her. Edwin, who was 29, was 10 years older than Adelaide, was a hard-working and prosperous family grocer, a kindly man, but one whose lifestyle was not to his young bride's taste. Adelaide fell out with Edwin's family, all except his younger brother, Frederick, with whom she had an affair, while Edwin devoted himself even more diligently to his business. The bored wife remained at home sewing and organizing the household chores and waiting for Frederick's illicit visits. She made so little secret of her attraction to Frederick that the brother's father intervened. After one acrimonious row, during which Adelaide learned that the older Mr. Bartlett was planning to move into the family house at her husband's invitation, she stormed from the house and was not seen again for some days. Since Frederick was also absent for this period, tongues began to wag, so much so that when Adelaide's anger cooled and she returned home, she forced her father-in-law to write a letter of apology to her. In 1885, the Bartletts moved to a gardener's home in Pimlico. There they were visited regularly by a young Wellesian minister with a penchant for poetry, the Reverend George Dyson. Edwin considered Dyson to be an improving influence on his wife and encouraged their friendship. What he may not have realized was the minister's fluid poetry was often directed at Adeline. He wrote to her, "Who is it that hath burst the doors, unclosed the hearth that shut before, and set her queen-like on its throne, and made its homage all her own? My birdie." The Reverend Dyson did not confine his expression of love to the written word, and his love affair with Adeline was aided by her husband's strange reaction to the couple's growing closeness. Bartlett not only condoned his wife's friendship, he actively encouraged it. He even made a will leaving everything to his wife and naming Dyson as the executor. Then in December 1885, Edwin Bartlett fell ill. He had always prided himself on being particularly fit, but this illness, diagnosed by the family doctor, was acute gastritis, took its toll on him and he sank fast. Edwin died on New Year's Day, 1886. The doctor was sufficiently suspicious to press for post-mortem examination, which revealed large quantities of liquid chloroform in his stomach. Everything pointed to poisoning, yet there was one inexplicable fact. There were no traces of the burning chloroform in Edwin's mouth or throat. Both lovers were charged with murder, although the case against Dawson was later dropped for lack of evidence, despite his admission that he had bought quantities of chloroform at various chemists' shops. At her trial, the attractive Adeline played brilliantly on the emotions and Victorian prejudice to the jury. She admitted dosing her husband with chloroform, but she claimed pathetically that she had first used the drug to curb his sexual demands, then later to help Edwin sleep during his illness. The jury were sympathetic. They were also baffled by the means by which the chloroform was administered without causing burning of the throat. They acquitted Adelaide Bartlett, who disappeared without trace after her trial. It was reported that she had immigrated to America. A famous surgeon, Sir James Paget, at London's St. Bartholomew's Hospital commented, "Now that it is all over, she should tell us, in the interest of science, how she did it." If you have enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment as it helps the YouTube algorithm grow the channel. You'd find similar contents in my other videos. Have a safe day. Signing off.